Yeah, I think we gotta fall to the water, which is today's September 4th. So this is a Public Works Commission meeting. We're gonna do roll call, like Michelle as well. Can you do that roll call for us? Go ahead.
Uh, Call will do roll call and staff minute form for the commissioners. James Felton,
Present.
Stephen Rowland,
Present.
Stephen Hunt is absent, and Jamie Schreiber.
Present.
Present.
Silent and
Yes. Pledge allegiance to the flags of the United States of America, and to the republic which is stand one nation under God, indivisible. Okay, that is it. All right, we have some special presentations. No. Okay. And we got any special announcements and communications and public commit from the floor? No, thanks. Okay, so we don't have one. Let's move right along. And we have a consent agenda. We got to do approval for the minutes on June 5th, year 2025.
I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, got move. Second. Any other objections? No? Okay, so we approve the minutes. Okay, number 7 is the action items. Gonna do a PWX self-assessment and accreditation workshop. Ismail the directors are here.
Thank you, Commissioner Choi. So this item, we're doing a couple of things here. Introducing you to our Public Works Superintendent, Juan Perez. We'll be bringing him up. Juan and I attended a PWX, stands for Public Works Expo. And we attended the Public Works Expo in Chicago 2 weeks ago. And one of the reasons we went there was we took an all-day class in addition to the rest of the conference, which there was a lot of training opportunities. But the first day that we were there, we had an 8-hour class that covered the American Public Works Association accreditation, Public Works Department accreditation program. And so it's a progress that we enjoyed. And again, we're going to introduce you to Juan Perez, and he'll tell you a little bit about the program.
Thank you, Ishmael, and nice to meet you all for the first time. So yeah, I'll dive in a little bit into that, the self-accreditation. It's, I think, the program that potentially the city might be interested in pursuing is that it's basically a baseline where we would build for the city a basic standard that we would follow, not only for maintenance, but for other departments within the city. And going through this course made me realize the opportunities the city has to fill in and create specs for the city for us to follow. Where right now, coming into the position, I've only been here with the city for about a year and a couple months. And I'm hoping that I can retire from here, but if, you know, as people move on and go to their careers, this would be a legacy for the city to be able to use and have a standard spec or a baseline to follow for future management or directors for the city of Marina. And with APWA, would be following or using this accreditation, they would be helping the city to build this and for the city to continue to use it after it's built. So it was really eye-opening, and I think it's something that the city should consider. Um, it does cost quite a bit of money for it, but I think if the city were to look at it and consider it and budget for it, I think it would be a great benefit to the city. And if you have any questions, I'm open to any questions.
What would this be replacing for, I mean, surely the city must have some direction.
So I know that there's their overall plan for the city for projects and um, that sort, but this would be more detail uh, for public works. It also does bring other departments within the city, but it would be more detailed towards public works. So it could be more towards specifying like the what is it called? Like benches for the cities that for the city that's public works. So it'd be all through like the parks, open spaces. So basically helping standardize those types of purchases as long, also to, when we're designing, I think it would also support any CAP projects when we get those types of projects. It helps standardize the items the city is looking for architects and contractors when it comes to buying material for the city. So we're standardizing, for example, one thing that we're doing right now, the irrigation controllers for the city. We're buying a standard irrigation controller, and which gives us the capability of programming these wirelessly versus manually. So having that information on paperwork and providing that to the designers gets ahead of providing that after the fact and all having to re-spend the money to be able to buy the correct controller versus we could have done that prior to the project even being constructed. I don't know if that kind of helps the direction that.
I certainly appreciate standardization. I was curious then what this project is replacing. Was it ad hoc? or-
In terms of that, I don't think we have anything in place right now where you could say, here's a handbook for public works and reference to that. As far as I know, there is nothing that we have in place for that. So that bringing this in would create that for the department.
Oh, I certainly applaud that. I'm surprised that there's not something similar in place. So that's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there other cities locally that have gone through this exact process?
Oh,
For this
yes.
accreditation?
Yes, so the conference also, they invited other cities that are currently have the accreditation. And
Any locally that have it?
locally, can't remember, not that I know of,
Okay.
not that I know of.
And might I ask what role the public would have, if any, in helping you develop these standards?
I think
Yeah, the public at large would not have
Okay.
any input. You would, this commission would. So all cities have some handbook, policies and procedures, but it's usually very outdated. Somebody created it 30 years ago and every public works director since has just said, well, the box is checked, so I'm good with that. This will force us to bring everything up to current standards, citywide, or I'm sorry, countrywide accepted standards. In order to obtain the accreditation, the American Public Works Association would review everything, every document, every book, every policy, every procedure, and let us know if it's in compliance or not, or if there's something that still needs to be addressed. They'll provide us with samples that we can go off of. And it's after Juan and I attended that, I ran into a public works director from one of the neighboring cities and mentioned that we had gone there. He said, "You're not seriously thinking about doing that, are you?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to go through it." He said, "Man, that is just a beast to get through. There's so much to get through, but whether it takes a year, 2 years, or 3 years, I just think it's a worthwhile endeavor." The cost is to pay the American Public Works Association to fly out here and do the assessment. And that could be $10,000, but we wouldn't be dealing with that for a couple of years. So, yeah, it's, we should have a policy. For example, this is the first city where I didn't oversee the water system. And all cities have homes that were built between 1950 and 1970. They have asbestos pipes that are in the roads delivering water to homes. Very safe, very good product, as long as you don't cut it with a saw and becomes airborne. So we always had to make sure we had a policy on how to do that safely. And so it's those kinds of things that we want to standardize. And it's also things like right now there's no, we have maintenance worker 1 position, maintenance worker 2, and we have the option for maintenance worker 3. We don't have any on staff, but that's in our job description, so it's an available position. Well, what we want to do is, say you need these certifications for promotions, and right now there isn't rules governing those things. It's pretty unstructured, and we want to bring everything in, to have some kind of structure and order.
So you said that frequently these go unmaintained and out of date in some number of years. How can we prevent that from happening once you do the mammoth task and the good work to put it together? How would it be maintained?
So one thing is, and it's one thing I've been focused on since I got here is establishing a culture that wants that done. Juan has done a great job and has a desire to make those things happen. I can't speak to the past, and I have no control over my successor whenever I do retire. But yeah, I think once we put it in place and set the culture, then it's just like inertia. Once it starts moving, it wants to continue moving.
Charlie, that'd be like 30 years from now, right?
If I'm to understand this correctly, so you'd be putting in writing compliance issues, best practices. This would be a guiding document for your decision making, for the actual actions you take, not just within your department, but across the entire city administration. And then I would imagine that the employees of the city would be referring to it frequently. So that way it's going to be this living document that I would imagine would be updated as laws change and different things become available, different technologies.
Yeah, more than one document.
More than one document.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll use the word document loosely. I'm sure it'll be a very large document. Does the accreditation last for a particular period of time? Do you have to
4
be
years.
reaccredited? 4 years. Okay.
Yeah, you have to reapply every 4 years.
Okay.
So it's more than just a policies and procedures book. It's safety manuals. It's how to use different equipment. You buy a new piece of equipment, they deliver us binders with all the stuff that goes with that piece of equipment. Those binders get lost, and so to have the accreditation, you have to have a local place where everybody knows where it's at. It's public for staff, easily accessible to staff. Training programs where people, when we onboard somebody, we're going to have them review all these things before they use a piece of equipment. And so it adds a level of safety with the certifications. The American Public Works Association has certification programs for people in grounds maintenance, people in facilities maintenance, electrical, water, and we want our staff to pursue these certifications. And it just gives us better qualified staff, more skilled staff, more professional, and just kind of raises the bar for the department. Any other questions on that item or comments?
Yeah, the question is so it's not likely just internal effort. Internal means like just our own department. Are we gonna have the city get involved and they're the one kind of sign off on? And
It would
I mean,
be internal. It would be this commission because what we want to do is hold ourselves accountable. So we'll bring a roadmap to you. There's a roadmap that's created. And as we go through the process, you know, you can see it happen. We'll be checking off boxes along the way. There's a self review or self-assessment that we go through. And once we feel that we are ready, we apply. And then American Public Works Association staff review our application and say, well, you know, it looks pretty good, but you're missing, you know, section 2.3.1 or whatever it turns out to be. And they keep us going through the process until we get that accreditation. There were only like 200 cities in the United States that are accredited, and even less that after the initial accreditation kept it up every 4 years. So for some cities, it did get dropped off. Doesn't mean they stopped doing everything, just means they didn't care about their certificate on the wall, I guess. But yeah, it's a good program and we're excited about moving forward with it.
What's the likelihood of that being approved?
Approved how? The budget
You said
mean?
there's costs associated with it. Do you?
Yeah.
Is
I
this already approved?
I just buy Elizabeth a cup of coffee and we got her vote. Yeah. Yeah. This current council is very supportive of these type of things. So, I've worked with them for 9 months. I couldn't imagine not getting a unanimous vote for that. What we would do is this council would, or this commission would produce a letter saying, we've been working on this for 18 months or 2 years and we request that council approve this. I can't imagine any council member ever denying something like that. That's a very small expense for the value that you get out of it.
Do you need our blessing to get started or have you already started?
We don't need your blessing, but we have not started it. Yeah, I think we would like, we're going to need your input and it is going to be a large endeavor. So, yeah, I think we would like your blessing and, you know, your support and commitment to helping us see it through.
In terms of staff hours that you're going to be investing in this, do you have any sort of estimate as to, because obviously this is above and beyond your normal duties.
Some of it is things that we should be doing already. So it's if you look at job descriptions, some of it is already built into those job descriptions. It's things that some people should already have been doing. I don't know how many staff hours it's going to take. The American Public Works Association provides samples and templates for everything. So it's as easy as downloading one sample for a policy and reviewing it and tailoring it to our particular organization and use, and then you know, putting that into our binder and moving on. So I don't see it being too much. You know, it's like the saying, how do you eat an elephant? You know, one bite at a time. It's just going to take one bite at a time until we get through it all. All right, thank you. Thank you, Juan. So we only have one more item here. Well, I guess Commissioner Choi, you would need to.
Yes, it's number 2 is the capital project review.
Yeah. So this item is going to stay on this agenda, and we want to give you regular updates every month. We might not do any talking on them, but I want to provide you with a spreadsheet so that you see what we're doing and where we're going, and at least give this commission an opportunity to say, you know, hey, I noticed that there's a change on, you know, page 2, project 15 or something, you know, and you want to ask questions about it. So for tonight, I wanted to give you an update on some of the projects that we've got going on. We have bad news on one, good news on everything else. Gloria Jean Tate, the park project going on there has been going very well. But we did hit a project delay that's it was unforeseen, no way for anybody to know this was going on. And it was also It's just unavoidable at this point. Marina Coast Water District is constructing a sanitary sewer lift station just adjacent to our park. And they've already had a sewer line that runs through our park. And with this lift station, they're replacing the length of pipes that are in our park. They're old, some of them are damaged, they've got cracks in them and things. So the work that needs to be done there is gonna, you know, for their trucks need to be going in and out, and they do have right of way. They do have easements, so we can't tell them no. And that's gonna hold off some of our park project. At next month's meeting, I'll bring you a map. It's still being worked on. I don't have it today, but the map shows the areas of the park that we will be able to construct and complete on time. In May of 2026, we will achieve substantial completion of the park project. And then Marina Coast Water District's project will prohibit us from finishing a portion until about September. So most of the park and all the new amenities will be completed for the public, open to the public in May. There will be some issues with the expanded parking and a walkway, and then the existing parking will be, it'll be open to the public when there's no construction going on. So it'll be open, but we'll have cones so that construction trucks can go in and out. So that was a little bit of a frustration.
Quick question.
Sure.
Work that the water department is doing, is that damaging any nude work that have been done on the park? Do they need to
No.
remove anything, or there's?
No, we
Nothing to
knew
do
they were
also.
going to do the project.
Okay,
So the engineers did do a good job coordinating that. It was just the timing of getting when we did our construction. I think if I had come to work here sooner, I would have asked them for a time frame and let them complete their project before we started ours. But that would still put us at a completion date around September next year. So at least this way, part of the project, a large part of the project gets done by May. So we'll bring another update next month. We have a few other things. We have applied for 2 grants since we last met here. One grant is for the Safe Streets for All grant program. That is a state of California program. I believe they get the money from the feds, but it funnels through the state. And that program has changed. When it first came out, I want to say the first year that money was available was 2021 or something like that, 2020, 2021. And cities applied for things. I was shocked at how much money was available for things like gateway signs to cities and beautification projects for the arterials entering the city. Other than beautification, there was no real benefit. Traffic safety, it was just beautification stuff, and it was a lot of money. And a lot of cities got a lot of money for that, including the city I worked with. We applied and we got money for a park, which was we got the money. It was good for the community, but I just always thought that was odd that transportation money was being used so freely. Now that those funds now are only used for safety projects, and there's some things that you have to do to qualify to even submit an application to be eligible. One of them is to have a safety analysis done, which the city of Marina does have. There's a few different safety analyses that you can do. One is called the systemic safety analysis. One is a local roadway safety plan, Vision Zero action plan. These are 3 very structured plans. Engineers are given a process that they have to follow. And what they do is they take traffic accident data and find where problems are in the city. And when I first started in government, you almost couldn't get grant funding unless there was a benefit cost ratio. So you're spending $2 million on a safety enhancement project, and you have to show that the benefit exceeds that cost by a factor. And the way you establish that factor is, well, there's 5 severe injury accidents, and a severe injury, there's a dollar value that is attached in those applications. And, the people used to almost make jokes. Well, boy, it's like, we're not going to get any money unless somebody dies at this intersection. And we did. The city I worked for, we got grants because we had deaths at intersections, and those deaths, the dollar value for life was enough to qualify us for to meet that benefit cost ratio. It's different now. Now you can establish that there's a safety hazard at one intersection, and not only can you apply for grant funding for that intersection, but you can establish that we have the same problem at these other 10 intersections where we have had no accidents, but the conditions that caused this accident are present at the other 9. And now you can get grant funding to do the whole thing. So what we applied for, we have some safety countermeasures at several of our roads here in Marina. And I can provide this commission with the, if you remind me, Michelle, the narrative for the grant application. You're welcome to read through that. But we applied for, it's about $2 million. So we're hoping to get that. We will know later on this year. We also applied for a grant to expand Preston Park, the ball fields. Right now, there is a little league field and a softball field, and then there's a multi-sport field that is used for, I think, for youth football and for soccer. And what we want to do, we need 2 more ball fields, and we still need the soccer fields. So we want to expand that park. We want to expand parking, and Marina is pickleball crazy. So we want to see if we can squeeze a couple of pickleball courts in there as well. So we applied there. Now that grant program, I don't remember the name of it. We can apply for 50% of the cost of the project up to $4 million. Now the project can be 100 million, but they're only going to give us $4 million or 50%, whichever is less is what they'll do. So our project is about $10 million. And so we applied for the full $4 million reimbursement. We have a very strong application with that particular project. So we're excited about those 2. Same thing with that one, there's different steps. If they like our application, they'll call us up and let us know that we're going to receive a site visit. They'll come out and do a site visit. They'll talk to all city staff. Council members can be there. Commission members can be there. And we kind of plead our case and talk about the great need that we have. And hopefully they like our project in person. They look at the need in person. From there, it'll go on to, they'll say, well, we liked it at our site visit. You're going to the next round of approvals, and then the applications will be evaluated, and then we'll get notifications. So hopefully we have a site visit before the end of the year, and notification of award either late this year or early next year is what they are anticipating. So those are 2 exciting grant applications that we've submitted so far. We're working on some more. We'll probably submit 3 or 4 more grant applications before the end of the year. We have the design for the Dunes Park. That is in full swing. At next month's meeting, I'll bring to you the conceptual design for that, as well as the conceptual design for Sea Haven Park. Note that the names of the parks are going to be changed. The Parks Department will be going through the process of naming the parks. Right now, they're being called that just because they're being built in those subdivisions. The Dunes Park, you see the conceptual layouts. Just I've said this since I saw the first one. This is an award-winning park. It's going to be an asset to the city, and just a great place for families to enjoy. 13.5 acres. It's just got amenities and a lot of tribute to Fort Ord, to the Fort Ord history. even to some of the service dogs that were here in Fort Ord. So that'll be a very fun project to see happen. The design is beyond 65% complete. The 95% plans should be delivered to us in around November. City staff will review those as quickly as we can, and then the engineers can take that 95% to 100%, and then we'll put the project out to bid. The schedule right now is that we want to put the project out to bid in January of 2026 and start construction around March or April, hopefully earlier, but that's the current schedule. The Sports and Aquatics Center, architectural design for that is well underway. They are just a few months later than the Dunes Park as far as design completion, going to bid, and starting construction. So we hope to start construction in very early spring of 26. They're looking at starting construction in summer or possibly early fall. Sea Haven Park, the developer was supposed to complete that park, but they've had a bunch of delays. So we approached them and asked to go ahead and take over the delivery of that park. The design is complete. The only difference is that we would manage it in-house. So we're going to take that project on. That park is designed differently since it's right in the middle of a neighborhood. It's not doesn't have as many amenities as the Dunes Park, but it's got 8 pickleball. It's going to have 6 or 8 pickleball courts, depending on the cost estimates. There will be a dog park. There will be a 9-hole disc golf on one end of the park. A lot of open space, so a lot of areas for kids to show up to the park with a soccer ball and football and just start playing around. It's gonna be a very nice addition to the city. Last night's council meeting, we approved an agreement with an engineering firm to start the survey work for our sidewalk infill project. Purpose of that project is to construct sidewalks where currently no sidewalks exist. There's a lot of areas in Marina. I'm sure there's some in your neighborhoods. You could walk along the sidewalk and then there's just no sidewalk for 300 feet. So we want to fill in those gaps. Survey work is necessary because we know there's going to be some right-of-way issues. We're going to have to purchase right-of-way from homeowners where we don't have it now. So the survey work will get started in a few weeks, and within 6 months they will have the full design to us, and we'll be able to take the next step from there. My plan with that, there's a grant program that'll be accepting applications early next summer. And so the timing is perfect. I want to take the results of this survey and submit a grant application for construction. So hopefully we can take our existing budget and stretch it further. Let me think here. I know there's more things going on. Windy Hill Park, we have ordered the restroom facility. The design is just about done for the infrastructure for the restroom facility at Windy Hill Park. And it looks like in March, the restroom will be delivered. Construction will start probably in January. And we'll have the pad and the water and sewer hooked up, electrical and everything run, so that when the restroom is delivered, it's lifted up. It already has an 8-inch thick concrete foundation. It's just set on a pad. Plumbing is hooked up, and it's ready to go. So it's a beautiful building. Nice thing about these, they're prefabricated, but they're built with concrete brick cinder block construction. They have the exterior facades have stucco. You can choose stucco. We have board and batten and stucco on ours. So they're very beautiful looking. It's not like it's not what you would think of 20 years ago if you ordered something prefab to be delivered and set in place by a crane. These are beautiful restrooms that we can be proud of, and they'll last for decades and decades. So that's an exciting project. in the last couple months, council also approved to, so the Dunes Park Phase 1 is what's been worked on and what's going to be constructed, and council approved an agreement with a firm to design Phase 2 of that park, which is about a 300-seat amphitheater, and additional parking and an additional restroom and concession stand. So that's, when I bring the conceptual design next month, it'll show the entire layout of both phases, and it's just gorgeous. So that'll be a good project. We still have some street projects that are, one's going to go out to bid soon. It's going to be some reconstruct, some overlays, microsurface of some streets. That project will include restriping of our city arterials. Most city arterials will be completed with this, and then we'll have a follow-up project to finish the ones that this project doesn't. So all of our city arterials will be restriped. They'll be restriped to modern standards, including bike lanes, and in strategic locations, we're gonna paint the speed limit in the lane. So I'm sure you've seen that in Seaside and other cities that you've been to. This way, residents know, as they're driving down the road, they're going from 40 to 35 down to 25 or whatever the case may be. And those are, as Commissioner Rowland asked before the meeting, your big three. That's more than three, but those are the biggest projects on our books right now.
At one time, I believe that you had mentioned that there was a street sign evaluation process that a
Yes.
photographic truck would go through and identify signs and
Yeah.
conditions.
So I'm going to take that to council to approve that project in late October, I believe, is when I have that scheduled. We have a company that is going to start this. So here's another project: sidewalk shaving, citywide. Every city-owned street sidewalk in the city where there's a uplift less than 2 inches, a company's going to come through and shave those down to. They'll meet ADA standards. It'll be just a huge difference and eliminate all those trip hazards. That work starts on Monday. So if you see a guy with it's like a 50-gallon shop vac basically, and it's got all his tools on it. Quick and easy. He might shave something right in front of your house. It'll take him 15 to 20 minutes. He'll clean it up. You won't even know that he was there other than the sound during those 20 minutes. That same company, they offer, and I haven't decided which one is best for us, but they will also come out and inspect the signs. So we have the option of a company that drives around town and uses a camera to inspect our signs, or this company which does it personally, and they go to each sign with the tool's called a retro reflectometer. And so they put this, suction cup camera onto the sign, hit a button, it shoots a certain amount of lumens at the sign, and then it measures how many lumens come back. And there's state standards that we need to meet. So it gives us a level of detail that a van driving around town doesn't. So we're still looking at those two. I'm waiting for this company to finish the sidewalk project and do the presentation. They will do a presentation to Public Works Commission of all the work that they've done and what they found. And then we'll go to council with that. And I'm expecting that presentation to really please everybody to the point that I think everybody's going to want to stick with them for the sign inventory.
Well, the sign one's important to me. There's a surprising amount of signs that are, as a guess, less than 50% even legible, let alone reflective.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if there's a significant amount of signage work.
Yeah, we have, I believe, a $200,000 budget for signs. An inventory is about 90,000, unfortunately, just to get the data. And so it's just going to be a matter of doing that in multiple years. What you do typically is you replace the safety related signs first, stop signs, warning signs, speed limit signs, and then the following year you'd come through and you would do guide signs like hospital with an arrow and city hall with an arrow, those types of things. But yeah, we definitely want to do as much as we can as quickly as we can. So next month, I should have a spreadsheet for you with all 99 of our projects. Um, uh, it sounds like a lot, and to answer your question before the meeting, Commissioner Rowland, how do we prioritize safety first, projects that remedy safety, and then quality of life projects, and after that, then it's deferred maintenance, things that have just been let go for too long. So that's in a triage, simple triage. That's how we prioritize the projects.
So I'm excited to hear about that. Can that spreadsheet be sent prior to the meeting as an
Yes.
attachment
Yes.
rather than a paper document?
Yes, we'll bring the papers to the meetings as well, but we will send everything I've mentioned, we will send as an attachment. This way you can review that 3 days in advance, including the conceptual designs for the parks and the exhibit showing which parts of Gloria Jean Tate Park will be done by May and which part's going to be delayed until September.
And the spreadsheet could be a spreadsheet, not a
Spreadsheet will
PDF
be a
of
spreadsheet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
I'm just excited sitting here, listen to all this and it's good for our city. Yeah. Love to hear that, love to hear that. And like I said, like you already prioritize which one gonna go first, because it seems like we've been backed up to do all this in so many years. So we got a lot of things to do, but we got to, just like you mentioned, if you want to eat the big elephant,
Yeah.
one at a time.
One bite at a time.
But the thing is, we're gonna do the, first things first.
Yeah.
So,
So as you were talking, that reminded me, one last project that is really big for us right now. We took it to council last night and council approved this, and that is an agreement with a company to come in and do a facilities assessment. So they'll look at all city facilities and they'll do an assessment on everything. And then they'll tell us what needs to be replaced, what the costs are. They'll put it on a schedule, and even whether the building is in great shape or in brand new shape, they're still going to tell us, for this building in 7 years, you're going to need to replace the windows. So we'll be able to start budgeting years in advance. That's going to be a fun project. It's going to just give us a lot of data. And I read years ago, I was reading a book on Robert's Rules of Order, which governs meetings like this. And the quote in the beginning, in the preface, I read it once and it's been in my mind ever since. Rational people will always come to agreement if they have enough facts. And so when I look at our federal government, the problem is not that they don't have enough facts. The problem is that they're irrational on both sides. But if we have enough facts, enough data, then we can all make good, informed decisions and be in agreement and move forward. And so all these projects that we're working on right now will give us that. So that's all we have for you tonight.
thank you for all that. Do you report? Beautiful report, matter of fact. Thank you. Any commissioners or staff informational reports? No. We got no correspondence. So I think we can call it adjourned for today. Thank you so much. What time is it? Wow. Pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, guys.